Hey there, it's your Wisconsin wine guy. Wow, look at this lineup. But before we get to the wines, you already see what the name is. But let me tell you, for those who are new, these are wines that you can find in the stores on the shelves of your everyday liquor store, grocery store, and some wine shops. I give a taste of some of these wines to give you my personal opinion, what I think, utilizing the infamous thumb rating system. Thumbs up means that, I like this wine, I recommend this wine, and hopefully you'll enjoy it too. 3/4 says that, you know what, I had this wine at a party, or if I were drinking this wine at a party and I was digging it, I was loving on it, I would even bring it home and share it with my friends. Halfway, not so much for me, not my palate. Doesn't mean it doesn't work for yours. It just didn't work for mine. I'll tell you why. Thumbs down, that's always an easy one. And then there's always the elusive double thumbs up, which comes out pretty rare. So now let's get down for the get down because this is the last part of the year. We are what? A week, less than 5 days away from Christmas, less than 2 weeks away from the end of the year. Man, where did the time go? I tell you when for me, inside the wine bottles. All right, so now we are going to be doing Josh Cellars. Now, those who've been following me for a while know how I feel about having multiple wines from the same brand. Gives me a tasting reference of where they were trying to go with the wines. But doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to taste the same. If all the wines, have the same footprint, that there's no, differences going on, that could be a little bit of a problem. There's consistency, yes, in taste-wise or style-wise, but there's no up or down going on there. But we're going to find out here with Josh Cellars. Now, most of us are familiar with Josh Cellars. In fact, the yellow label that you can find in almost every store, is just a favorite of those who are buying Josh wines. A lot of people like the Cabernet. A lot of people like the Pinot Grigio, Sauv Blanc, and I hear a little bit about the Merlot, which is too bad. But we're going to go up a level. Also, there's the brown label and the black label you'll find only in Cabernet in the stores. But we're going to go up again. We're going to go to the Reserve and Heritage line of Josh Cellars. So, giving the lineup. First, we have the Josh Cellars Chardonnay. This is vintage 2020 Family Reserve out of Sonoma. Here's something I found out about Josh, is that they don't really own any vineyards. They're negotiant. They work with multiple vineyards or great farmers around different parts of California, and they source their grapes and make wine, just like some of the Bordeaux areas, right? How cool is that? But they're consistent, or very consistent, making good wines. Next, we're going to have in the Family Reserve the Cabernet 2018. This is from the North Coast, so up the northern coast of California, where the grapes are sourced from different vineyards in and around the northern coast. Taking advantage of that Pacific Ocean breeze, right? Creating those microclimates in the vineyard. Next in line, we're going to go to the Heritage Collection. This is 2017, also a Cabernet. So we get a chance to go Cabernet for Cabernet and see if there's going to be a real difference between the Reserve, Family Reserve, and the Heritage Collection. Now, the Heritage Collection is a dedication to his father, in making this wine. Just that old school, when we got involved in making wine, these were the reasons why. So I wanted to make this wine, he says, to dedicate to his father. So Napa Valley, grapes are sourced from vineyards in and around Napa Valley. All right. Last but definitely not least is going to be the Josh Cellars Family Reserve Bourbon Barrel Aged Zinfandel. Now, I'm very interested in this wine here. In fact, I'd like to tell people that this wine here is a throwback, and we'll get to that when we get to tasting. All right, throwback in a good way, though. For part of some historical references. All right, let's get these wines poured up, and let's get a taste. Screw cap on the Reserve. There's still some people who stand on ceremony when it comes to drinking wine, and you know me, I don't. If the wine in a bottle is good, that's all that matters to me, right? Ooh, I can smell that Chardonnay. Hey, this corker, I don't know if you heard that fizz because I was talking. Hey, this corker, you got to get it if you haven't gotten it yet. Wow, that's a beautiful colored Cabernet. This is from the North Coast. Now for the Cabernet. Ooh, wow, this is keeping it real fresh. the heritage selection. I love to hear that sound. Open up the wine with my Hades cork, and it goes. You know, that means that it's sealed. The wine is sealed. It's trapped. Everything's beautiful. All right, and now for the Zinfandel. So 4 wines. I don't know if I've actually did a tasting with 4 wines, and if so, it's been a while, right? All right, so here we go. See if we can make this as quick and painless as possible. So get a look at that Chardonnay, right? Golden, almost like, you know, the golden rays of the sun. Not really that golden, you know. So let's go kind of like greenish yellow in this one here. I like the golden rays of the sun because it's California. On that nose. So this goes through Malo again. There's different vineyards that the grapes are sourced from. When it's put in the barrel and fermented, then there's in the tanks and fermented, there's a final blend that takes place. Also goes to secondary fermentation. This is going to be in new French oak. Ooh, and also some stirring on the leaves, just, you know, give more of that mouthfeel and richness in the wine. Again, you definitely get a taste of this French oak and a little bit of American oak in that, but you definitely get that nice, clean, fresh nose. Now for the Reserve Cabernet. I'm going to do these side by side, right? So we have French oak going through secondary fermentation, Malo. Oh, wow. I mean, the nose, I mean, you definitely get that deep berry plum spice on both of these. But there's a little extra on the nose here. There's a little bit of nice, you know, toasty char on this one here. But both of those noses are very nice and fruity. Now, and also I'm doing my reading, you know, Josh Cellars, they like to, you know, get, you know, nice, deep, long, intense maceration to extract lots of color, extract lots of fruit. Something that they're known from, extract, you know, I say fruit flavor and color. You know, that's something they're known for a lot of their wines. I mean, the wines are very intense at any level. Now, this is going to be the Zinfandel. Oh, wow. I mean, definitely Zinfandel spice on the nose. You know, the plum, not the jammy type Zinfandel, right? Okay, it's not that. But, wow, nice. Whew, looking forward to tasting that. Let's go down to 9. You know how I feel about this. No acidity, no play, no way, no how. Chardonnay. Wow. Nice acidity. Love the mouthfeel on that one. Do one more rinse here. Maybe my snack I had. Okay, nice acidity. Nicely balanced. Lots of flavor in this one here. I don't have it like overly chilled. It's like nice and cool, but nice flavor there. You'll get a little bit of citrus, a little butteriness, but not that whole like butter oaky thing. Not that. A little citrus, you know, that kind of like richness to it. Nice mouthfeel. Wow, that's nice. Now for the North Coast Cabernet, again, acidity. Again, good acidity here. But that fruit, man, that fruit is right there and intense. I mean, the berries and the plum, you get all of that there. Wow, tannins are like medium, soft, medium tannins, but that fruit just goes all the way through long. So this is like, what the vintage was? 2018? That's pretty fruity. That's kind of still young. Now let's go to the acidity's nice. Let's go to the heritage. Wow. Again, good acidity. I probably could have reversed the order, but I'm just going to make sure I get a really good rinse when I come to this wine. Because I'm going to be tasting these almost like side by side. And now for the Zinfandel. Again, good acidity, nice mouthfeel. It's a lot more happening there. One more. Wow. Again, good acidity, peppery, undertones of dry cherry, not necessarily dry cherry, but dark cherry, berries, little plum, get a little bit of cedar notes there. But then that bourbon-esque taste is very subtle, so it doesn't take away from the wine. But acidity is what we taste it for. But that's pretty nice. So I thought I'd give you the whole 9 yards. So we got 4 wines here. We're going to be doing this video for like 30 minutes, right? Let's go back down the line and give you a taste. Chardonnay, Sonoma. This is for the grade. Wow, I mean, it almost has like a sort of tropical feel. Sort of nice richness. I mean, elegant tasting. You know, very, very nice, pleasing Chardonnay. Cabernet. Cabernet North Coast. Let's start with the heritage first this time, because this has a nice youthfulness to it, you know, as far as the fruit goes. Let's start with the heritage this time. I'm playing around here. Wow. I think this order works best. Believe it or not, the acidity from here and the tannins from here, even though you still taste the fruit, but it kind of downgrades this a little bit. So I'm going to go in this order like I had it, right? Let's go back and get a rinse and a taste. This is for the grade. Again, medium tannins, nice mouthfeel, fruity, okay? It has that youthfulness to it. Go back to the heritage. Now, the little extra for me in the heritage, there's a little bit more of toastiness of a char, almost like a caramelized char from the barrel you pick up on this one compared to the youthfulness of the North Coast. Wow, that's pretty nice. Let me give you alcohol. All right, after I finish this one, I'll give you alcohol to each of these. The Zinfandel. Again, so let's talk about the Zinfandel for a little bit. We'll do it later. Let's do the grade, and we're gonna finish off with the Zinfandel. So the Chardonnay, again, as I said, elegant, nice fruit, subtle richness. You know, you get that nice mouthfeel. You know, I have it cool. I think it'd be great chill too. I'm gonna give this a thumbs up. You know, I'm digging this Chardonnay. It's like a California classic style, but not over the top. Because you see, the California classic style, at some point, it went over the top with some of those wines, and the Chardonnay just became buttery and oaky, you know. But that true California style, you did get those hint of that butteriness, that richness, you know, and the spiciness and the oak, you know. But you still didn't get away from the fruit, and that's what you have here. So the 2020 Joss Family Reserve Chardonnay from Sonoma, thumbs up for that one. The Family Reserve Cabernet, alcohol on that Chardonnay was 14.5, all right? So it's a big boy, you know, and that probably attributes you some of that mouthfeel, all right? 14.5, but it wasn't 14.5 on my palate. I thought it drank really nice, okay? Now, the Cabernet Family Reserve, now, young, fruity, not over the top heavy like Cabernets. I mean, I think the package is really nice on this. Okay, package is really nice. It does have that youthfulness to it. Probably great with food. I'm gonna go 3/4 on this one. I mean, it is nice. Okay, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna go 3/4 on it because I would drink this. I would bring this home. I would share this with my friends. Okay. Now let's go to the heritage. I like the nose on that heritage. Wow, man, that nose is nice. So here's what the heritage does for me. The heritage reminds me of a Bordeaux, Cabernet dominant Bordeaux, okay? Where you get, it's something about the char in the barrel that I get from this that totally transports me to that. You know, I mean, old school Bordeaux's weren't like heavy laden wines, you know, Cabernet dominant. It was elegant tasting. And that's what this is. You know, I think all the elements are right there. It's very nice, very lovely. And I'm going to give this a double thumbs up because it transported me to a place, you know, to a Bordeaux that I had once, and it had those elements to it. Even though this is Cabernet from different parts of Napa, but again, it's not that over-the-top, heavy, intense, tannic Cabernet. Now for the Zinfandel. So the Zinfandel. So what happens, I called this a throwback earlier. There was a time before California hit the map, became famous, that when they were aging wines in barrels, they didn't have French barrels. But they had American oak barrels, but those American oak barrels were used for bourbon. So this is a throwback to a time, spends 2 months in bourbon barrels, a throwback to a time when the wines were aged in used bourbon barrels. That's what you get here. Let's do this again. 14% alcohol in the North Coast Cabernet and 14.5% alcohol on the Heritage. And let's do this right away. 14.5% on the Zinfandel. So in the Zinfandel, the Wisconsin wine guy, I'm going to give that a thumbs up too. Tasted a lot of bourbon barrel aged wines. And I like that this doesn't take away from the Zinfandel. You know, I like that it's not a jammy type Zinfandel. You know, it just has the Zinfandel elements, you know, lush, spice, fruit. But then that bourbon barrel comes in and lets you know it's there, but it's not over the top. All right? So, here we go. Thumbs up. Chardonnay, 3/4, Family Reserve Cabernet. Double thumbs up on the Heritage. And thumbs up on the Zinfandel Bourbon Barrel Aged. Josh, Cellars, very impressed. And is your Wisconsin wine guy saying to you, as always, we're rounding up this year. 2021 is almost over. Got more wines to bring to you. Let your palate be the guide when selecting your wines. And I'll see you next time.